Good day and welcome to our video series. My name is Joshua Davidson. I work at the Division of Student Recruitment here at Stellenbosch University, and today we're going to be talking all things accommodation. Everybody has the questions, when will I hear, when will I know? Today we're answering those questions. Lucky for me and for you, I'm not alone today. I'm joined by my colleague here today. Colleague, you carry a wealth of knowledge regarding this topic. Please introduce yourself to our audience. Tell them who you are and what you do here at Stellenbosch University.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Siwabalwe Kula. I'm the Residence Placement Officer for Junior Residences at the Student Accommodation Division.
Thank you for being here, Siba. Nice to have you.
Thank you for having me.
So the first question, we're going to jump straight into it. The first question you always get asked is, when will I know? So some prospective students who've applied have not had any feedback yet on the residence. What are the next steps for them?
Okay, so everyone who has applied and received a residence offer has been allocated to specific residences now. Okay. So they have received the information. Students who have not received an outcome yet are going to receive an unsuccessful email at the end of October. That email will also advise them to apply on the 1st of November waiting list, should they wish to still be considered for accommodation in 2026.
So you spoke about the unsuccessful, right? And we sometimes have people who didn't apply but also want to be considered for residence still. So what happens if I receive a unsuccessful email, or if I didn't apply, is there still an opportunity for me to be considered? How does that process work?
Yes, there's still an opportunity, but it's only off the 1st of November waiting list.
Okay.
Whether you received an unsuccessful response at the end of October or you didn't apply for residence, there's an opportunity for you to apply again on the 1st of November waiting list, and we'll use that waiting list to fill any spaces that become available.
Where do they find more details about that waiting list?
So that waiting list is on your applicant portal. You can apply on that waiting list on your applicant portal. You can also find details about it on martis.com. Okay. I think what's important to note here is that we use the same placement criteria on the waiting list as in the general application.
I think it's also important that we just pause on this topic of reconsideration waiting list to let our viewers know that this is not a guaranteed process. So can you please just elaborate on why it's not a guaranteed process? You know, the T's and C's, the fine print.
Okay, so the waiting list, like we said, we use the same criteria as in the general application. And also, I think the most important part about the waiting list is you only get space off the waiting list when space becomes available. So that means a prospective student would need to cancel their spot in residence for the following year, 2026, and only then can we make a placement off the waiting list. So it's definitely not a guarantee. You still need to secure alternative accommodation.
And now, talking about alternative accommodation, there are many different options available in and around Stellenbosch, but we also know with many options, there are many opportunists and scammers, for lack of a better word. So please just direct our viewers to where they can go to find a reputable source for, I don't want to call it alternative accommodation, but private accommodation. Okay.
Yeah, very, very important to note. Please be vigilant at all times of the websites that you visit, and also the accommodations that you secure. I would say the safest bet for our prospective students would be to visit our martis.com website. On that website, they can find a list of university accredited private accommodations and use that sheet to secure private accommodation.
Just elaborate on the word accredited. What does that mean in terms of our prospective students? Why is a source of accommodation accredited?
So university accredited just means that the landlord made an application to the university to open up bed spaces for university students. So they are part of our accommodation providers. Essentially, we go out, we vet the property, and we make sure that the property is conducive for students to stay in. And once all of that has been done and the application's approved, we put them on our website as a private accommodation provider for students to stay in.
So it's just that extra level of security and peace of mind, I guess, for the parents and guardians of our prospective students as well. I always say to people, stay away from Facebook Marketplace. You're only going to get scammed there, so please just be very careful of that. Use the website that Siba has mentioned now. So we've gone through the process of when will I hear, if I didn't get in, what happens to alternatives. Now for the students who have been placed, there's always the questions of, do I bring a fridge? Do I bring a couch? Do I bring a TV? So when will the residences start reaching out to students who have been placed to tell them, just give them more details about what the residence is about, what they need to bring, etc. When will that happen?
Okay, so generally residences start reaching out in December to their new students. And when they do that, they're going to inform the student about everything that's in the residence, the facilities that are there, what the student needs to bring with, and also inform them about the welcoming period, the residence's welcoming period and the general welcoming period, which generally takes place a week before classes start in February. So only from December they're going to start getting communication from residences.
So they just have to be a bit patient for now. Unfortunately, that's all you can do in this situation. So we have students also who are unable to pay the residence deposit. So they might have been placed, but they couldn't pay the deposit. How do they go about this process now, getting in contact with you, securing their place essentially?
So very important. The first thing is, if we do not know about you, we cannot assist you. Meaning, if we don't know you can't pay the deposit, we cannot reevaluate or reconsider you for placement. They need to contact our office via student.com@sun.ac.za, or contact the client service contact center via info@sun or 021-808-9111, and then we will guide them with the appropriate process to be followed for reconsideration in residence, should there be spaces available. I would recommend they get in touch with us before the offer letter expires.
So it's very important to all the viewers out there that you said we can't help you if we don't know about you.
Yes.
Please reach out to us. That is why you are here. You're here to assist, to make their lives easier, to make the process easier. So please do reach out to us should you need that support. So I have my next question is very specific. So it's about NSFAS. We know that many applicants across South Africa, in many students across South African universities, public institutions are funded by NSFAS. So a common question is, does NSFAS cover the full set of fees that is placed for accommodation at Stellenbosch University?
Okay, so the answer there is no. Unfortunately not. NSFAS does not cover the full residence fees because NSFAS is not a full cost bursary. So all students must please apply for additional funding to cover that NSFAS shortfall.
So that's just up to them to do some research and try to get that, or you said additional sources of funding, just to bridge that gap a bit.
Yes. I would say definitely start on martis.com. At least apply for the SU funding as well, and also private bursaries are also available on martis.com.
So that's very important. Please, viewers, there's some homework for you. Please go and check our website martis.com for the bursaries, check alternative sources of funding. I always say as many as possible. Apply for as many as possible. A next question is also a very important question is, are differently abled students, I don't want to use the word allowed, but can they live in residence? And if so, how are they supported within that residence space?
So yes, differently abled students can stay in residence. They can be accommodated in university residence if their disability necessitates residence placement. But the first step is to get in touch with our disability unit. The disability unit will then guide them on the appropriate process to be followed for residence placement based on their registered disability.
I think that's another important point of that little phrase that you had, which said, if we don't know about you, we can't help you.
We can't help you.
So identifying yourself as a differently abled candidate or prospective student does not disadvantage you in any way. We just need to know so that we can support you whether it's in the lecture space, the academic space, or even the campus life, student community space, residences. So please do reach out to us as well, and make sure that we know how to help you in the best way possible. So my next question is, we always have lots of applicants, right? They don't put all the eggs in one basket, as the phrase goes. So what happens if I have already accepted an offer for residence at Stellenbosch? I paid my deposit, but then I decide, okay, I'm going to go somewhere else. How do I go about cancelling that place and getting my deposit back?
Okay, so I would definitely advise that you send us an email to student.accom@sun.ac.za. Alternatively, you can also contact our client service center through info@sun. And then once you inform us of the cancellation, we're going to cancel your place immediately. But to be noted, if you cancel anytime after the 31st of October, and you want a refund of the residence deposit amount, there will be a 900 Rand cancellation fee charged from that deposit amount that you paid. And if you cancel 1 week later or 1 week after the matric results are released in January, unfortunately, you will forfeit your entire residence deposit amount.
So the time is now if you want to cancel, basically.
As soon as possible.
The time is now. So please, viewers, make sure that you understand that. Replay that section of the video as many times as you need it. But Siba, thank you so much for being here today, for sharing that valuable information with us. Before we go, can you please just reiterate your email address and the link where our viewers can go learn more about accommodation?
Okay, so most importantly, the email address that's on all documentation from the Student Accommodation Office is studentaccom@sun.ac.za. Any additional inquiries can be sent there. And then also martis.com. Everything you need to know about residence and campus life and fees, you will find on martis.com. Or alternatively, our client service contact center, which is info@sun, they will redirect your query to the relevant individual.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm sure that our viewers found it extremely helpful. And to you, our prospective students, if this is relevant to you, please, like I said, watch this video as many times as possible. Reach out to Siba and his team if you have any questions, if you need any assistance of any sort. We hope that this video helped you today, and we also hope to see you soon on campus. Bye-bye.